Dear friends, welcome to another episode of Geopolitical News. In this video, we will discuss the threat made by Iran that they will attack if Israel invades Gaza and the risk of the conflict between Israel and Hamas spiraling out of control. During this past weekend, while Israel was strengthening its military capabilities along the Gaza border, with the Israeli government providing clear indications that a ground invasion was imminent, the Iranian dictatorship, under the control of Ayatollah Khamenei, issued a statement through the UN. In this statement, they asserted that if Israel were to invade the Gaza Strip, Iran would retaliate. The Iranian government made it clear that in such a scenario, the conflict could escalate beyond control, highlighting that significant tragedies could befall Israel. But why did Iran make such a firm and explicit threat against Israel? And what could the Iranians actually do if Israel invades Gaza? There are two main reasons behind these threats. The first reason is Iran's deep-seated hatred for the state of Israel. Before 1979, Iran was a strong ally of the West, with close ties to the United States. In fact, Iran was the only country in the world to receive congressional authorization to purchase the then-new F-14 fighter jet. However, in 1979, everything changed, and Iran transformed into a theocratic dictatorship governed by Islamic extremists. In a little over a year, Iran shifted from being a strong and reliable Western partner to one of the most closed and anti-Western countries in the world. The new regime of the Ayatollahs pledged to destroy two nations, the United States and Israel. This intense hatred for Israel leads to the second reason behind the threats issued by Iran, which is their financial support for strategically positioned terrorist groups around Israel. These include Palestinian Hamas militants in the south of the Gaza Strip and Lebanese Hezbollah fighters in the north, within Lebanon. In the 21st century, Iran expanded its support to include various Syrian and Iraqi pro-Iranian terrorist groups operating along the Syrian border. Thanks to these groups, Iran can indirectly attack Israel without the risk of direct retaliation. However, Israel's specific intent to invade the Gaza Strip, primarily to eliminate Hamas, one of the terrorist groups armed and funded by Iran, raised concerns among the Iranians about losing a valuable tool of attack. Hence, they advanced the threat of retaliation. But how does Iran intend to attack Israel if the Israelis indeed invade Gaza? As mentioned earlier, a direct Iranian attack on Israeli territory is, at least initially, out of the question. If Iran were to launch missiles and rockets from its own territory, these launches would be immediately detected by Israeli radars, giving Israel a strong justification for a direct counterattack on Iran. While Iran possesses a significant military force, they understand that they cannot face Israel in a direct and open confrontation. Therefore, they will likely resort to indirect attacks through their proxy terrorist groups, with Hezbollah being the most significant player. Despite much attention given to Hamas, Hezbollah terrorists are far more militarily capable. Some sources estimate that there are up to 100,000 armed terrorists under Hezbollah's command. Additionally, Hezbollah possesses more advanced weaponry, while Hamas primarily relies on rudimentary rockets and a few drones. Hezbollah has a substantial arsenal of heavy artillery, with estimates of nearly 200,000 rockets in their possession, many of which can reach major Israeli cities. Moreover, Hezbollah has a significant number of anti-tank missiles, which they have been using to destroy at least 3 Israeli armored vehicles and damage a heavy armored vehicle in recent days. If Iran genuinely follows through on its threat and attacks Israel with full force, the main attack is likely to be carried out by Hezbollah, supported by various Syrian and Iraqi pro-Iranian groups operating along the Syrian border. A full-scale Hezbollah attack in the north, coupled with Israeli forces slowly advancing into the heart of Gaza, where Hamas terrorists are entrenched in the city's ruins and an extensive network of tunnels for ambushes and assassinations, would be a nightmare scenario for any Israeli military commander. This is where the United States, Israel's strongest ally, comes into play. The United States has deployed the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford, accompanied by a cruiser and 4 destroyers to the region. They also announced the deployment of a second nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, accompanied by a cruiser and 3 powerful destroyers. These assets will serve as a deterrent to a significant Iranian attack through Hezbollah. However, if Iran decides to proceed with a full-scale attack, unleashing the full force of Hezbollah, the United States will inevitably have to intervene, increasing the risk of an internal conflict in Israel turning into a major and devastating regional war. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Until next time.